people get so uncomfortable when I talk on my Instagram about how like, oh, Paul and I got into a fight, but like we were able to work through it, we're doing better, and people are like, you guys are fighting, you're probably not compatible. You all got married way too fast, so that's why you're having issues.
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
And this is the Paul and Morgan Show. So today's video, 2 lies about marriage that we realized are not true. We feel like these are good things to bring to light and talk about because they can be misconceptions, and suddenly you're in the middle of marriage and you're like, but our marriage doesn't look like this, doesn't look like what I was told or what I thought was gonna happen.
If you're new to this channel, though, make sure you subscribe. We make Christian advice videos on life, love, and dating to help you have hope
and be free. The merch is out, and I'm actually wearing one of our pieces, the Freedom shirt, today. Go get yours. The link is below. Take a look at the hoodies, long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shirts, our fall winter collection. It's dropped, it's here, go check it out. So guys, I really want to preface this. Morgan and I are about to dive into some stuff that we have observed and experienced in our own lives and the lives of people around us. If you're married, we don't want you to take offense at what we're saying. We invite you to consider where we're coming from, but then if you genuinely feel like, that's just not me, this hasn't been our experience at all, God bless you. Now let's get into the video.
The first lie that we have kind of realized is not true. It's really easy. It's gonna be so easy. If you love them, it's gonna be really easy. And if you prepare, if you pray a bunch, if you go to groups on how to be a better husband or how to be a better wife, it's just gonna end up being super easy.
Marriage is a breeze.
Yeah, which, don't get me wrong, you guys, preparing, praying, going to groups on how to become a better husband or wife, if those exist, are great and absolutely are going to help your marriage for sure.
In some couples' marriages, maybe their personalities, maybe their maturity, it is going to make it easier to be married early on in marriage. Mm-hmm. But I think what we've seen, and just, again, what we're observing from people, from couples around us, marriage, especially early on, is not going to be a breeze cake of easiness.
Breeze cake of easiness.
I think it's just important to go into it realizing, guys, we're going to be sticking this out. We're going to be fighting for our marriage, but it is going to be an intentional fight for our marriage sometimes. It's not going to be a breeze cake.
I think for me, before I got married, I was naive and thought like, okay, like I know marriage isn't going to be super easy, but like I think for me it'll be easier because I've been praying about this. I've been wanting this my whole life. So once I have it, like I'll be just so grateful for it and it'll be super easy. I was very naive.
Sometimes what makes marriage easy is when you don't face issues that come up. I'm just going to brush this under the rug. We're not going to really face this head on. And then in a sense, marriage can seem easy until it bubbles over. So when you're addressing the issues when they come up, that's going to be difficult.
We've just, I feel like, met a lot of couples who get married and they want to live in the honeymoon phase for a very long time. Like much longer than healthy, in my opinion. And Paul and I, like, we didn't even have a honeymoon phase. We just kind of jumped right into it of like, all right, let's figure this stuff out. I think that it's so important to, of course, enjoy that honeymoon phase.
Yeah, you might just consider, are we dealing with issues that are arising, or are we letting them sink down and turning into subtle resentments towards the other person because we're not wanting to deal with them?
Conflict is not comfortable and it's not fun, and who wants to have conflict with their best friend, with their partner, with their one? No one. But it's very necessary at times so that later down the road you don't have even bigger conflict. The idea that like fighting in a marriage is unhealthy, I think is so silly and goofy, and like fighting is okay if you're doing it in a healthy way.
And year 3, guys, is better than it was year 1 because we had to navigate those waters and we didn't hide stuff under the rug. It was hard. It stunk at times. It wasn't always done in a healthy way, and we've learned But that is to say, because we addressed them, our fights are not as intense as they were in year one.
Yeah.
We're learning, we're growing as we're supposed to be.
Yeah, so the lie that marriage is going to be super easy, whether that's a lie or just something that people will tell you or you have personally felt, like, don't go into marriage thinking it's going to be a breeze, because it's not, and that's okay.
You're going to have probably a rude awakening.
And people get so uncomfortable when I talk on my Instagram about how, like, oh, Paul and I got into a fight, but like we were able to work through it, we're doing better, and people are like, you guys are fighting, you're probably not compatible, you probably shouldn't be married, you all got married way too fast, so that's why you're having issues. Like, no. Chill out, bro. Fighting is okay.
We're learning how to crucify the flesh, and that's a very real thing.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing here is for those who are thinking to themselves, going to go into marriage and we're just not going to fight. Like, I'm determined, not going to get into arguments. It's going to be cakewalk. Just saying, the reality is it's probably not going to be a cakewalk. You probably are going to have to learn how to argue and love each other in the midst of that and grow from it.
And to those of you young married couples or older married couples out there, be honest with the people in your life. If you're struggling, tell someone. Don't go and talk gossip about your husband to your family. That's not healthy. Don't go and talk gossip about your wife to your best friends. That's not healthy. But reaching out to the people who God placed in your life as mentors, as accountability partners, as leaders, like, be honest. When they ask you how you're doing, when they ask you how marriage is going, don't just say, oh, it's going good. And then you think back later, like, oh, wait, like, no, we've been struggling. Like, it's okay if your life doesn't look perfect. It doesn't have to look perfect.
So the second thing we realized is not true. Before we were married, we heard people say stuff like this, and I'm sure you guys have probably heard it too. What is it, Morgan?
Oh, you're getting married? Oh, don't even get married. It's too hard.
My life was better as a single. Just don't even do it.
I had so much more fun when I was single.
And that is, I mean, I guess some people genuinely do believe that, but it's a sad place to get to.
I'm going to say that is not a Christ-like place to be in.
And so we would just say, like, those of you watching that are single that might be hearing that around you, or maybe you've even seen that from your parents, we're sorry. And we would say, unless you feel God is calling you not to get married, like Paul talks about in the New Testament, some people just, God hasn't called them to get married. Unless you specifically feel that calling, like, we bless you to get married, and marriage is a good thing. There are difficult things in marriage, like we already talked about, and if you're not prepared for those, if you think it's going to be a cakewalk and then it's not, and then it's bringing stuff out of you, selfishness, the flesh, and you're just not ready for it, it's going to kick you in the butt. But if you're thinking, no, like, I realize marriage is going to be hard, but I'm going to be going to the Lord. We're going to be seeking counsel. We're going to be growing together and pushing through it. You can, and marriage is so worth it.
You both have to be ready and willing to lay your life down for one another. You have to be willing to get into the Word and see what God describes marriage as. What does a husband and wife look like when they interact with one another? It's so cool, you guys, because marriage helps us become a lot more like Christ. So is marriage so hard it's not even worth it? No.
It's so good. And marriage has so much fun stuff as well. It's such a blessing.
I was just thinking, like, a few days ago, Paul and I went and worked out together and did, like, really simple things. Going to the grocery, going and volunteering somewhere, going and getting lunch somewhere yummy. And it's like, I just have this forever best friend. And it's so cool. And I know that, like, even when we get into fights, even when life is hard with one another, like, we're still going to be there for each other. We're going to work through this crap, and we're going to come out on the other side better and stronger. And so marriage is absolutely worth it. Everything worth something is going to be hard, and that's okay. I mean, I look back at before Paul and I were married, and I look at where I am now, and, like, I have grown so much and have come such a long way in just who I am as a daughter of Christ, and who I am as a wife and as a friend and as a daughter. And it's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I wouldn't be here if I weren't married right now. And I just love that. I don't know where I'd be, but I wouldn't be right where I am right now.
The message and the heart behind this video is, 1, don't be surprised when marriage is difficult. And 2, don't be so discouraged that marriage is going to be difficult that we avoid it altogether, because both sides are good. All right, now guys, we want to invite you to comment below, and if you feel totally different about what we're sharing, we invite them. Bring it on. Let's carry on the discussion. This is our experience, this is our opinion, and we invite differing opinions. But if you're like, man, I can totally relate to what you guys are saying, write that in the comments as well. By now you probably know, but we are going for a 500 patron goal. When we hit the 500, we got 2 big things planned. Click the link below, jump on board. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy Morgan and I's marriage videos. Guys, I realize this video got pretty heavy and deep. We're not trying to be mean in any way. We, if anything, just want this to be an encouragement. We bless you guys in the name of the Lord. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll catch you again very soon. Have hope.
And be free.
Fight for our marriage sometimes. It's not going to be a breeze cake.
That is not a word.
Well, it's a breeze, a piece of cake.